life, you want to shift from being in autopilot to being the driver of your life, the creator of your life, from intentions, from consciousness, from awareness, and going through life knowing what is going on and understanding what is it that is guiding you and how to collaborate and co-create with yourself and the world around you and other people from a place of awareness. In today's video, I want to share with you the pattern that we go through and the way we act in an unconscious and conscious way in our day-to-day life, in our life. And this pattern, for as far as it is invisible, it is how all of us human beings work. This is something that have been shown in studies, studied in psychology, in behavior, and also in, generally speaking, the personal development. It's interesting because if you start to understand how we work, how we function, from the metaphysical part to the physical part, the concrete with the results, it is going to help you to start understanding when something isn't going your way, what you might define as quote unquote wrong or not good or not what you want. You can now go back to that pattern and understand where is it that something is not aligned with all the others, and can be working on it and focusing on it in order to shift everything and to align all the process in a way that serves you better. Now, usually all us human beings act moving from our beliefs to our emotions, to our thoughts, to our decisions, and finally actions, and therefore our results. This is how we all work. So any result that you are getting in your life right now has been generated through this process. Basically, everything that we have in this life is because we believe in it. That's why you might have heard that we see life the way we are. Our thoughts reflect our reality, and you are who you think to be. And if you want to change who you are or to change your results, you need to look into your emotions and your thoughts and your beliefs, especially and specifically, to be able to change the result that you don't prefer anymore, that is not serving you. And this process is really interesting. The beliefs generates emotions, emotions generate thoughts, thoughts generates decisions, decisions generate actions, and actions generate results. This is how all of us work in an unconscious way. The part that we really aren't aware of is the part of our beliefs. It is very well hidden, but it's the root of everything that is happening in our life. All our life, all our decisions, our emotions that we feel, the action that we are going to take or the decision that we are going to make are all based on those beliefs. And most of us don't know what are our beliefs. We are not aware of them, and we don't know how to identify them, how to discover them, and most importantly, how to shift them if they are not serving us. And I used to think that it was something really difficult to do. I don't know for you, but I've heard people say if you want to change a belief, you need to choose something different and keep repeating it until it becomes a belief. Some other teachers shared the fact that in order to discover your belief, you need to take pen and paper and start noticing what is it in your life right now that you don't prefer, and write it the way it is, and then take another side of the paper to write how is it that you want it and prefer, and start thinking about it and playing with the idea of a result or a life that is aligned with what you want. And I believe that all of those ideas are really great permission slips because they help us. But the question is it going to resonate with you or not? Because I've noticed that all those techniques don't necessarily work for every one of us. They might work amazingly for some people and really make difference in their life. But for others like me, it wasn't enough. I am someone that needs to understand something before I can apply it. And I believe that this is how a belief is rooted. Maybe when we were kids, we weren't able to make those conscious decisions about whether we are going to buy into something or not, because we did it from a place of trust and trusting that simply the environment where we are growing, the family where we are raised, the people that surround us, especially the authority figures such as the parent or the teacher or the boss in a job, are figures that you trust without questioning them. And if you grew in cultures or societies where religion is a very important element of the life, you might agree that the religion generally is the area that you cannot question. It's a dogma, you take it as it is, you are not allowed to ask question around it, you just take it, believe it, and that's it. And they keep repeating it to you as a child and then as a teenager, and it becomes part of you without even realizing it. And all your emotions, all your actions, all your results are gonna be made based on that invisible belief that have been installed in your life. And this is all to tell you how mainly and basically our beliefs are created and ignited. They are seeds that are growing, planted in us from our very young childhood and in an unconscious way. But there comes a moment where I notice, at least for myself, that I couldn't buy on them anymore. They really misaligned with the way I was feeling things and perceiving them. I felt that there was a disconnection between what I know and believe and what is actually happening. And this created in me curiosity and willingness to really understand and dig deeper, to understand why is it that I am not able to really truly buy blindly and believe blindly on what is it that I have always thought to be the truth about life. And what I discovered in my process was that beliefs, most of the time, are installed in us in an unconscious way. And this happens on one side, as I told you, from our childhood. If you are religious, it's going to be your religion. The people that represents for you the authority, such as your government, the teachers, your parents, your grandparents, no matter what person that for you represents this trustworthy person that is important for you, and whatever she said, you trust that she knows better, and so you just take it for granted and embody it, and it becomes part of you. You are convinced of it, you don't even question it, and you act based on it, and you feel based on it. You take your decisions based on it, and all the results that you get are based on this belief. Now, it's good to have beliefs. We all need beliefs to work on this life, to perceive it and to experience it. As a matter of fact, we don't see life as it is, we see life as we are. We don't see the full picture of life, the life as it is, but every one of us individual human beings are making this life real for us from our own experience of it. This is what makes life real for us. And we are going to experience it on a very unique way, your way, my way, the way of other people. And every one of us is going to experience it through their lens. And those beliefs are basically the lens through which we are going to relate with life. We are going to relate with others. We are going to relate with circumstances and with ourselves. This is how we are going to define everything for ourselves. What is for us love? What is for us trust? What is for us family? What is for us friendship, work, success, failure, achievements, disappointments? Everything is going to be defined through this lens, because when we experience something, when we deal with an event or a circumstance in our life, we are gonna give it a meaning. We are gonna create our story around it, a very unique story that we have around it. And this creation of the story, this meaning that you are gonna give it, is gonna ignite in us feelings, sensations, emotions around it. And you can consider our emotions as a signal each and every time a circumstance is similar to the one that we have experienced or heard about, and how we recognized it. This is our cognitive way to recognize things, especially for our mind and for our body to either protect us from something or to push us through it, to identify if something is good for us or not good for us, and if it's something that we have defined it as risky, as harmful, because any negative emotion for that matter is a signal for our body that something is off, something is wrong. It is to avoid or to fight against. And I believe that fear is the father of all other negative emotions, such as frustration, anger, sadness, loneliness, grief. All of those are, I think that all of them are generated because of a fear, out of fear. And the fear might be the fear of rejection, the fear of not being enough, the fear of not being part of others and not being connected to others and ending up lonely, because it's important for us human beings to be social, to be connected, to be loved and accepted, to be acknowledged, to be heard by others. And our past experiences and the way we developed our beliefs around our interaction with the world started when we were young. So the figure of the parent, the figure of the teacher have been the first places and kingdoms where all of this started to make sense for us. If you grew up in a family where to receive love, you have to be silent, you have to hide your emotions, and you have to show up strong or to please everyone, that is how you are gonna develop your concept and perception of how to be loved by others. And whenever someone is not receiving this from you or is not transmitting this to you, that is going to trigger in you emotions such as the emotion of fear or sadness or frustration, because you are not recognizing the patterns, you are not recognizing the behavior. So it's going to create a new worry, fear, needing to do more, to hide or to escape it because it's not resonating with what you have defined it for you to be your reality. The area of beliefs is a very important area for all of us. And we cannot change or understand our beliefs in order to improve them or level them up or upgrade them, because maybe what you have been taught to be a truth for you have changed and evolved in the time. For example, you might have been, as I said in the example, of believing that love is through pleasing people and avoiding the rejection and being silent and hiding your emotion and not expressing your needs. Maybe growing up, you finally realized that it's not the way you want to define love for yourself anymore. Maybe you suffered a lot from this pattern of loving and receiving love, and you have been hurt so many times and disappointed because when you tried to recreate the same scenario that you used to do in your childhood, you didn't receive the same feedback. And maybe you realized that there is a better way to love others. Maybe someone showed you another way to be loved. And now you question the definition. Now you feel frustrated and triggered. Something is not going right, because for you what is right is the way that you have always believed love is supposed to be. And now you are discovering something completely different, and it seems like it's working and you are enjoying it better. It's giving you better satisfaction and better results. So now you feel confused. You feel afraid. Your body is reacting in a very weird way. Maybe you self-sabotage yourself. You try to avoid people that are loving and caring. You think that they are not trusty, something is wrong with them, they are fake, they are over loving, they are over emotional, they are over delivering, something is off with them. And why don't they approve me when I am trying to please them? Or why do they put those boundaries with me? And it amplifies the triggers, it amplifies the confusion in you, and maybe also the fear. The fear of this unknown and unfamiliar, the fear that you are not finding what you expected and what you are doing is not meeting their expectations. And it's creating worry, anxiety, stress, because now all the things that you know how to do, all the things that you believe to be the only way to love and be loved are being questioned. And that is when your emotions are gonna try to indicate you a lot of things. They are gonna be the signal. Because if something that you somehow recognize to be not that bad, your soul is feeling the call to it, but somehow you also feel like you are resisting it, and that's where your instinct and your anxiety both are going to be in conflict. And maybe you get to a point where you say, I don't get it. Is it my instinct that is telling me to go to that love, to that way of loving, because I somehow am seduced with this kind of love? I love it. It's easier. It's better. I think it's healthier. I don't have to prove myself. I am allowed to feel my emotions. I'm allowed to express my needs. People don't judge me. People don't reject me. They are accepting me, actually, even better now that I am more authentic. So maybe this is an invitation to be more authentic, to reconsider my definitions about love, about acceptance, to reconsider my relationship with my fears, such as my fear of being rejected, my fear of not being enough, and to start investigating, why do I have this belief? When did I have it? And is it actually a rational belief? And is it the only way? Is it serving me that much? Or maybe it's time to start nurturing different things, to start looking for all the evidence that is showing to me. And through my emotions, I am going to be able to tap into that belief. Because for what I am understanding and discovering, it's actually that there are no emotions if there is no story or belief. You will not be feeling emotions if you don't have a belief around something. If it's something that you are experiencing for the first time of your life, you are not going to have any emotion about it. You might be also neutral around it. But if you are feeling emotions about something, remember and know that this is because there is a belief. There is a belief. So now what am I feeling? Am I feeling fear because I want to start this new thing? Because I want to experience this new thing? Maybe change country, move to another country, maybe start a new career, maybe learn something new I never learned before, maybe get into a relationship, or maybe just put myself out there. What are the feelings that I'm having right now? What am I feeling? This is, I think, the most important thing to do, to become emotionally aware of yourself. What are the emotions? And your emotions, you can feel them through the sensations and through your body, because your body is going to be the first part of you that is going to react. You are going to feel when you are resisting something, when you are feeling something, when you are afraid of something, where you want to escape from something, or if you want to fight it, you can feel it in your body. The pressure is going to rise up and you're going to feel it. At least for me, this is what I've noticed, and a lot of studies do confirm that. So just becoming aware of it, to understand and sit with that for a moment, just to question it, investigate it, and allow it to come, just to be able to understand what emotions am I feeling in my body right now around this thing that I want to do. If it's fear, why am I feeling fear? When did I started feeling fear? And what am I afraid might happen if I step into this new thing? And what am I afraid might not happen? What am I getting from being afraid? What am I getting from staying in this familiar area? Because there is always an outcome from any belief that we have. This is an interesting thing that I've discovered, and that's true. Even the worst negative beliefs that we have, or limiting beliefs that we have, do bring us an outcome, a benefit. For as unrealistic and nonsensical it sounds for us now, rationally speaking about it, but in an unconscious level, all of it makes a sense, because there is no rational or irrational for your body. For your body and your brain, it's, I recognize it past, and so I'd rather stay here because I know how to defend myself from it. And if you try to change it or move to something different, I am just gonna start being in alert and signal the fear and try by all means to avoid it, because I don't know it. This is unknown, this is unsafe and secure. And that in itself is an interesting belief. I have discovered for myself, at least, and through the studies that I have been reading and listening to, that we do have the belief that the unknown is scary, dangerous, and it must be avoided at any cost. And this is, I believe, one of the core beliefs that most of us human beings share together. We are afraid of the unknown. So this rooted belief of the unknown, and I think you can just remember some history, some things in the history, such as how people from a country would perceive people coming from a foreign country having a different physical appearance, a different language, a different culture. It created more fear and resistance and hostility than it created curiosity. And it's something that we have programmed in our body. And that's why I believe even today, in a very modern life where we really are all, the world is really basically accessible and visible, and we all now live together, different colors, different cultures, different religions, different languages, and yet we do have this fear around the unknown, this fear around what is different, what is not familiar. So I think it's the first thing to do is to really work with your belief about what is the unknown, your definition around what is unknown. Because if you will keep believing and defining everything that you don't know in this life, that you have never experienced it, as dangerous, that is how you are going to emotionally react to it and interpret it, and you are going to always make decisions and take actions and carry thoughts that the unknown is dangerous and it's scary and I should avoid it and I'd rather stay where I am right now. You are going to follow your body that basically is just working based on an old program. An old program that today might not be serving you, especially if the unknown is about starting a new career, is about putting yourself there, discovering the love of your life, giving yourself the opportunity to meet new people, to meet new cultures, to try new things, maybe sing, maybe go to theater, maybe learn something new or teach something new. In these cases, you might agree, and I hope so, that it's not a rational fear. It doesn't make sense because you are not gonna die if you try something new that might really nurture you and make your life better and your experience better and allow you to learn more things about yourself and others and life. I believe that it's something exciting and beautiful rather than stressing and scary. That's why I invite you to really sit with the fact that everything that you don't know and you are not familiar with, in one word, the unknown, doesn't have to be defined as dangerous or scary or to avoid. And if we work on this, and that's at least what is working with me, now I developed a better awareness around this relationship between beliefs, emotions, and thoughts, especially because this is the part, the invisible part, that is guiding our decisions and our actions and results. So I believe that it's the part where we need to sit a little bit and consider, question, explore, and be willing to really openly and with a lot of flexibility and open mind be able to unpack, to write about, to discover, to speak with ourselves, to really give ourselves the opportunity to see things that we have never seen before, to discover things that we have never discovered before, because unknown don't have to be dangerous. So whenever you are in a position where you want to make a difference, something you are not happy about, something you don't prefer, and you feel like now something within you is inviting you to change it, know that it's not that you need to change the external, honestly, but it's more about going within and understanding, first of all, the emotion, because what you are feeling have been created through a belief. Now, what I'm feeling is fear. If it's fear, what is the belief? What do I believe to be true about this thing? Why do I believe that it's scary? What is the definition that I have about it? The unknown? Do I have the definition that unknown means failure, danger, rejection, not being enough, death. What is it, the meaning? And let's see if this belief do make sense now that I can and I am able to see it clearly and understand it and become aware of it. Let's see if it really makes sense for me. If this meaning and definition that I have is still today appropriate for me, or maybe it is time to update it. Maybe it's time to upgrade it. Maybe it's time to shift it or to change it because it's not serving me anymore. So in this part of my program, this belief, maybe now it's time to let go of it and explore new things. And I know that it's not easy and it's gonna take time, but it's important to sit with it. And I can tell you that the moment we understand that our emotions arise always because there is belief behind them, and we finally are able to enlighten and finally see what is the belief in a clear way, that is already a huge step, because this is the way you are going to change or eliminate a limiting belief. Because you now have a name, you have an image, you have something, and you know what is it that you are feeling emotions around. You know what is it that now today is maybe limiting you. And from the moment you are aware of it, you already can shift it. Because from the moment you really believe and understand that the unknown is not dangerous, there is no reason for you to nurture and maintain the same old limiting belief. Because you already, how can I say, you discovered it. And now that you've discovered it and you know that it's not valuable, it's as if you have been all your life fearing a monster under your bed and believing that it was a monster, and one day you just decided to remove the bed and discover that there are no monsters. Are you gonna still be afraid of the monster under your bed? I don't think so. Now you have the evidence. Concretely, the evidence that there are no monsters. So you have no reason to keep the belief that you have had. It's not serving you anymore. I can give you a more significant belief. We used to believe that Earth is plane, and people really were convinced. It was really hard to convince them of the opposite. And people died because they believed the opposite thing. And now today, no one will ever believe you if you tell them that the world and the globe is plane. We do agree on that. We do have today the evidence concretely that it's not the case. So no one can ever affect you on this or make you believe something different. This is to tell you that you really need to understand and know yourself. If you know yourself, nothing in this world can ever shake your self-belief and your self-image. It's a process of knowing ourselves one step at a time, one limiting belief at a time, one thing that we want to change at a time. There is no hurry. There is no need to make drastic changes in our life. It's about whenever in this present moment there is something that is not feeling aligned with me and I'm having emotions around it, especially emotions that are not comfortable or that are negative, simply I know today that I can question this emotion and I can go to understand what is the belief and finally dismantle it totally because it doesn't make any sense for me anymore. So that was something that really clicked in me. And I finally realized it's not about repetition, it's not about writing, it's not about anything woo-woo. And there are a lot of permission slip, I repeat, but it's not the thing that you do that is going to change your beliefs. It's more about you and your self-awareness, self-consciousness, and understanding, self-understanding. That is what it is. And it's you studying yourself, you being flexible, and you being willing to upgrade whatever it is that you know now. In the same way you update your phone, the same way you update your computer, the same way you update your clothes, it is the same that applies also to the invisible part of us. And it's the part that really is in the driver's seat of all of this. So I think it's important and interesting and enriching to embrace the fact that we are the students of our life. Now, from beliefs and emotions, let's move to our thoughts. Because thoughts are really the line, the part that is gonna move from the concept to the real action and the real concrete results, the manifestation part of all of it. And thoughts are not something that comes from the ether. It is something that is perpetuated because of our beliefs and how we feel about them. So thoughts are basically like the stories, the narrative that have been produced thanks to the rooted beliefs that we have and the emotions that have been generated through them. They are going to create the thoughts. Thoughts such as, I can do it, I'm not enough, this isn't for me, I am too old, I am too young, I am too far, I'm not in the right place, I am dead, I'm gonna be dead, life sucks, people are bad, relationships aren't for me. Those thoughts are what is gonna lead us to make decisions. And if you believe that love is pleasing others, for example, in order to be enough, and if you are not pleasing others, or if people reject you, you are not worthy of love, so you are going to end up alone. What is going to happen? Your emotions around love are going to be emotions of fear, scarcity, of mediocrity, and pleasing others, and fear and frustration, anxiety, whenever you are not meeting others' expectations, whenever you are not understanding them, whenever someone is rejecting you. And what is going to happen with all these emotions if you are going to create for yourself all the situations to be self-sabotaging yourself? And the thoughts that you are going to have are thoughts of, if I don't please this, I am not good enough. If I don't do this for this person, I'm not good enough. If I don't dim my light, I'm not going to be loved. If I tell them what I really think, they might reject me. If I cry in front of them, I'm going to be considered as a weak person that do not deserve respect. So what are you going to do? Your decisions are going to be the decision of staying in the dark, playing small, never showing up for yourself, never telling your truth, always hiding, always playing small, not trusting yourself, doubting yourself, putting all your trust on others, trying by all means to please everyone, even though you know that you cannot do that. And your decision is going to be perpetuated on the actions that you are going to take, or the lack of action that you are going to take. What are going to be your actions as a person that believes that love is about pleasing others? And if you don't please others, you don't succeed on this mission, you are going to be rejected. The thought is going to be, if I want to be accepted and loved by others, I need to play small and really make sure everyone is happy except me. And I shouldn't ever tell what I say. I should never tell people that I love them, or that they hurt me, or that I'm feeling hurt, or that I want to be heard, and communicate with them and be yourself and be excited about who you are and give space for them to also be themselves. What is going to happen? What are going to be your actions? They are going to be actions of fear, action of frustration, action of not setting healthy boundaries with people, not being your true self, and therefore only attracting to you people that can resonate with your pleasing. Because you are going to be with people that only, for example, narcissistic abusers, they want you to be their slave, to do whatever they want and to adapt to whatever they are saying, and to be abused easily and be emotionally unstable because you have never been exposed to your emotions. You have never been educated and taught to understand your emotion, be aware of them, communicate them with others, and all are the other consequences. And what are going to be your results? You are going to end up lonely, hurt, frustrated, angry with yourself and with others, and disappointed each and every time because you have been abandoned. And the most important person that you have abandoned is yourself, because you have been basing all your life on that belief. And there will be a moment where this negative emotions, this result that you are getting will not be enough for you. There will be the moment where all those challenges, all this hurt, this grief, those heartbreaks, for this example, are going to be so overwhelming that you are not going to be able to take them anymore, because it's against your nature. It's not who you truly are. And you are going to start understanding that it's exhausting, that it's consuming you, and you are not given space for yourself. You might be, first of all, trying to please others more, trying to erase the boundaries, trying to meet people where they are more and more, and suffer more, and sacrifice your life and your time and your energy for others, up to a moment where you are not going to be able to do it anymore, because you will not be having any energy for it. And you might realize at some time that it's not worth any of it. And maybe all people will leave you alone. And this immense grief, this immense suffering is what is going to take you to a place where you are going to start to understand and question yourself. Why do bad things keep happening to me? Why am I all the time abandoned? Why don't people listen to me? Why don't people understand me? Don't they see how much I love them? Why don't they get it? I'm doing everything for them. I'm sacrificing my time and my energy and everything. Why is it that they don't understand me? And why is it they don't take me seriously or manipulate me or everything? And that is your soul in that moment telling you, focus on you. Go within. It's not that people don't like you. It's not that people don't validate you. It's not that there is something wrong with you. It's that you are turning your back to yourself. It have always been about you and yourself. It have never been about others. And the way you are seeing yourself, the way you are treating yourself is what have been reflected to you in your reality. You believe that love is about pleasing others, and you are going to keep pleasing others, and it's going to be reflecting to you the fact that pleasing others is not enough. You are not going to be loved and you're going to be rejected. It's as if you are trying to avoid a fear, but this fear is manifesting constantly. You are obtaining the opposite result of what is it that you want. If I don't know if you understand what I mean. But basically, it's I am constantly attracting and obtaining the results that I don't want. What is happening? What is going on with me? Why isn't it working? Something is wrong. I must be wrong. There is something wrong with me. You see, I'm not good enough. You see, and you turn back to that same cycle we have been through. Your beliefs are going to be more validating that you are not good enough. Your emotions are going to be perpetuating and raising more and more. Your thoughts are going to be stronger about this thing. Your decisions are going to be based on those three things, and your actions and results are going to be the same. Now, what is enlightening and interesting in this is when you have a clear vision of what pattern do we all follow, what is the process from the moment, from the beliefs to the results, we are able to finally, maybe sometimes if necessary, start from the end. For example, start from the results. If there is a result that I don't like, now I don't just stay in the blaming and the victimhood and crying myself out and validating the fact that I'm not enough. Now I know this is the result that I'm getting. If I don't prefer the result that I'm getting right now, I can go back to all this process and understand where is it that I am not changing and adapting to finally get the results that I want. Maybe a good thing should be, and at least this is what is recommended, from the results that you don't like, write them all down. What is it that I don't like in my reality right now, in that field, in that area that I don't like? Maybe it's your relationships, your professional life, personal life, whatever it is. Take a paper and write down the results that you are getting right now, even if they are negative and awful, whatever it is. And then write on the other part, what are the results that you want? What is it that you really want from it? What do you want to get from your life, in your personal relationship, love relationship? Be clear about it. What is it that you want? How does it look for you? to be really loved. Now, from your point of view, not from your beliefs, not from emotions, but what would be making you feel good? I don't think that pleasing others is what is going to make you feel good. I don't know that not being honest with people and not sharing how you feel about something and being validated and understood. Your thoughts matter, your emotions matter, and someone that really acknowledge them, welcome them, and understand where you are coming from. They listen to you and they share with you the same respect and love and honor you and respect you, whether you please them or not. And they make it more about a relationship based on respect, on healthy boundaries, etc. If this is the case of the relationship that you want, for example. And from there, you need to check your beliefs. Do I believe these things to be possible or not? What do I feel? What do I feel when I'm interacting with people? How do I feel? So I can be able at least to identify my beliefs about it, especially the limiting beliefs that are not allowing me to get the results that I truly want for myself. And your emotions are gonna be your guide on this. So listen to your emotions, welcome them, allow them to be, live them, take deep breaths, and allow them just to understand what is the emotion. Name your emotions, name them, and allow them to come, because this is the signal for you of what is it that you don't feel comfortable with. What is the belief and the story around it? Why is it that you are afraid of something? Why is it that something is frustrating for you or you are resisting to it? What is the story that you have created unconsciously around it? What is it, the meaning? What are the definitions that you have? And what other definitions you can look for? And then look for evidence of whatever it is that you want to believe, because to nurture a new belief, you need evidence of it. In the same way that your beliefs as a child have been rooted in you and created because you believed them, there was evidence. The evidence for you was enough, the figure of the parent or the teacher or the person of authority or the religion or whatever it is. Now you do the same thing from a place of awareness and consciousness when you know that you get to choose what to believe to be true for yourself. You get to choose how to define something for yourself. Whether you want to define failure as the end of your path and similar to death, or you want to see it as an experiment, as a learning curve, and it's an opportunity for you to grow, to know what did work and what did not work, and learn how to make it work in a better way, in your way. And this is up to you from this moment. And then nurture better thoughts, because when you are going to start believing something different and feeling different about it, because now you know that there is a different result that you want, you are playing with this idea and you love it, and you are starting to consider it as a possibility for you, and you are finding evidence. The way you are going to relate to it, you are going to feel about it, is going to shift, and it's going to be a better, more aligned. Your thoughts could be a good signal. When you start listening also to the thoughts that come related to the limiting belief and the emotion, you can write down, what are the thoughts that I'm thinking right now? What are the thoughts about myself, about life? It might be, love is not for me. People don't deserve my trust. People only love you if you do what they want. I will never be enough. Something is wrong with me. Whatever is the belief that you are having for as much as it can be absurd or logical for you, just write it down. Put it on paper or record it just to listen to it and see how nonsensical it is and how not aligned with you it is. Most of our thoughts, if not all of them, aren't even ours. And this isn't something that I have come with or invented. These are studies, a lot of years and of studies that talk about the fact that our thoughts aren't ours. Our thoughts come from all over the place. The collective consciousness, people, family, from the media, from social media, our parents, this and that, but they are not completely ours. And we think them, we say them, we share them, and we adopt them without even taking the time to consider whether they are ours or not. Do I agree with them? Are they relevant for me? Do I want to buy on them or not? Because if not, maybe it's time for me to really investigate and choose what thoughts I want to have. Because this is my right and that is my life. And I get to own my thoughts and to check the thoughts that I have, whether they are mine or not. The stories that I'm telling myself about life, about relationships, about people, and about myself. Is it my story or somebody else's story? And from that, your decisions will start to shift, because decisions such as I decide from now on to check my beliefs, to trust that my emotions are here to signal me where do I have limiting beliefs. And I decide that I'm going to work on myself. I decide that I want to change my life for the better. I decide that I want to live from consciousness, or I decide to not decide, or I decide to go in autopilot. We are constantly taking decisions, whether we are conscious of them or not. There are decisions that we take unconsciously that are really great for us, others that aren't aligned with what we want, but we are decision makers, humans. It's just that we haven't been taught how to make decisions. And it's something that we can learn. It's something that we can improve, we practice. It's like everything else in life. And it can start, I loved an example that I have practiced it for myself to start learning to make decisions. It was, for example, when I go to a restaurant or to drink, I would take the time for me to decide what is it that I want to drink, not let others choose for me or choose the same thing that all my friends do. I would take the time and say, you know what, I want to decide for what is it that I want to drink. And I would take the time for myself to question my body and my soul and everything and say, what is it that I would love to drink today? I would love to drink a spritz, for example. And I know that this is what I want, I'm going to take it. And that's very little exercises that you practice. Decide how to dress up, decide when to brush your teeth and how. In all the small things in your life, the best place to start learning to make decisions and practice it is in your small area, in your home, in your dates, in your daily life, in your job. Learn it, practice it, and slowly you are going to develop the habit of making decisions. And actions will follow, of course. Based on the decisions that you are going to make, you are going to take actions or not. And I think that here it's important for us to be okay with making mistakes, be okay with not being perfect, be okay with being wrong, be okay with not getting the result that we want, and understand that we are learning about ourselves, learning about what is it that we prefer, what is it that we don't prefer, and everything, every circumstance is here an opportunity for us to learn more about ourselves, to learn more about our limiting beliefs. It's a good experience. It doesn't have to be a scary experience. And we are here to understand, to reveal to ourselves finally the path that is aligned with our true self and learn about ourselves. Because the best way to make any difference is by starting within, starting to understand who I am in that situation, who I want to be, and how I want to make that change. Slowly, with love and compassion, and with a lot of flexibility, and trusting the unknown. I think that this is the most important belief we need to sit with and change the definition that we have about facing the unknown and nurturing it. The unknown is amazing. It is full of surprise and opportunities. It's the place where we can learn the most things. We can develop more things. We have the opportunity to upgrade, to update, to expand, and to be more of who we are. And it's fine to make mistakes. Be okay with not being perfect, because perfection is not human. It's our mind construct of what is supposed to be something. It's basically a procrastination in order to not face what is the unknown. So work on this, be kind with yourself. I really hope that this process is going to be helpful because it is helpful for me. I have been playing with it for years. I'm still learning about it. There is a lot to discover about ourselves and how we work. but I believe it's really helpful, and I really can't wait to listen to your experience if you are familiar with it. So please share with us. And if you have any advice or any insight that you want to share with us, I will be really happy to read it. And I think it's going to help us all improve our relationship with ourselves and every part of us. If you like what I am sharing in this content, don't hesitate to share it, to comment, to leave a like, to see more similar content. And if you haven't done yet, subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much for your time, and I can't wait to see you in the next video.